everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today we're going to go over the best games I played in 2024. Alright, so I beat 20 games in 2024. I'm very happy about that. That's a pretty good number, especially for someone who doesn't have tons of time for gaming, so I'm really happy about that. I beat games of all sorts. Platformers, action games, JRPGs, and games that were new and old. I love to do that. I love to get through my backlog, but I also love to play games that just came out. I mean, FOMO. I always rank all of the games that I play during the year, and so out of that 20, I do have a top 20, and we're gonna go over the top 10 today. These are the 10 best games, and actually all 10 of these were really good. I'd say out of all the games I played last year, I didn't hate any of them, but there were definitely some that were not as great as others, and that's why those games are way lower down. So let's just go over the top 10 today. Of course, before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, click like, and let me know what were the best games you played last year. Alright, coming in at number 10 is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This is one that I had been meaning to play for quite a while. I mean, it came out a few years ago now, and it's great. It's a wonderful game. I absolutely love it. I'm not like the number one Xenoblade fan here or anything, which is why it's ranked lower. I love these JRPGs, but they're a little bit too open world MMO for me. But because the story is so good, they always rank very high because, I mean, these are great games. I loved this one. I loved all the characters. It was a great cast. And I have to say it is my second favorite Xenoblade game now. So that's pretty cool. I really just like the original one the best. But this one was excellent. Some seriously heartbreaking, emotional, very sad moments in this one that were really good. I was really digging it. I was very excited to see what happened to these characters. It was definitely a very interesting story in the sense that the main characters in this game, they only live for like 10 years. It's like a really weird concept. I really liked it. So definitely check this one out if you haven't. It's probably the most polished of all the Xenoblade Chronicles games. And yeah, really worth your time. Coming in at number 9 is an amazing platformer that blew me away. I just wanted something short after playing a JRPG, and I figured, fine, I'll start it. And that is Kaze and the Wild Masks. You have to play this if you like Donkey Kong Country. I know platformers aren't for everybody, and I realize my channel really focuses on JRPGs, but come on, platformers are probably in my top 3 genres of all time. I love them, and this is amazing. It's side-scrolling. It feels like you're playing a Donkey Kong Country game. It does not feel like Mario. It does not feel like Kirby. It feels like Donkey Kong Country, and it's so good. It's very fast-paced. There are levels that you need to do multiple times because it's almost like you need to memorize a pattern. It is challenging. It is hard. There is a mode that I did use because it basically gives you checkpoints, and I found that helpful. However, the final boss did not have checkpoints, so I'm very proud that I beat it. But yeah, it's a really good game. I absolutely enjoyed this game, like, to no end. I hope we get more games like this. I know there are other games similar to Donkey Kong Country that I need to check out, obviously, but this one, really cool. And if I'm honest, I don't see anybody talking about it, and they should be. It's not a new game, but it's definitely new to me, and it was really great. At number 8, we have a really fun action-adventure superhero game, and that is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Really great. This is an excellent game, perfect for in between a big JRPG, kind of like the last one. It's really fun because I love Spider-Man. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. There's the original one, there's the Miles Morales game. Both of those games are great, but I have to say I enjoyed this one the most, probably because you get to be Miles and Peter Parker. So really cool game. Great in the sense that you get a bunch of villains. Venom is kind of the main feature in this game, but there are other Spider-Man villains in this game, like Kraken, the Lizard. They all show up. It's really cool. And the symbiote suit plays a role in here, so you kind of get that angsty Peter Parker thing going on because of the suit. So that's in here. It's just really fun. I find that these games, they're very cinematic, but I really do enjoy a good Sony cinematic AAA experience sometimes. You know that I love JRPGs the most, but come on, a game like this sometimes fantastic. Really cool game, highly recommend. At number 7, we have a fantastic JRPG. It's a series that I've recently just gotten into, and I am so excited because I love when I get into a new series because it's like, oh my gosh, I have so many games that I get to play now, and I have to go try and collect, so that's great. But this is Star Ocean, the Second Story R. Fabulous game, and I know they're all similar in a way. The first one I ever played was Divine Force, and I loved it, and then I played this, and I loved it too. So I feel like, yeah, I'm a Star Ocean fan now. I really, really like these games. And these are great in the sense that, you know, big world map that you get to go on, different cities that you get to go to, different party members that you get to meet. That is my favorite thing. Like, those are my favorite aspects of JRPGs, and you get all of that here. So highly recommended, and it has a sci-fi element. So I feel like it's a huge win because we don't get sci-fi too much in JRPGs, which is kind of disappointing. I'm not sure why. It seems to be, it's like medieval or school setting. Like, it's kind of like a weird, I don't know. So I'm really excited to see this get remade, and you know, there's a new audience because someone like me, I hadn't played it before, and now I got to enjoy it with this amazing, like, remaster. It's gorgeous. Like, the graphics are so cool. I love the look of this game. It is just stunning. So definitely check this one out if you like, as I would say, big adventure JRPGs or going from town to town. It's just a really fun experience, and I just enjoyed it like immensely. At number 6, we have another JRPG, and again, another remaster, and wow, I really enjoyed this. I've been dying to play it. And here it is. It's Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. This is supposed to be like the best Paper Mario game, and I loved it. I'm so happy, and people were right. It is really, really good. It's excellent. I totally get all the hype now. Really fun. I just never owned a GameCube back in the day, and I've kind of just been waiting for them to do this. So this was excellent. It has backtracking, and there can be a few minor inconveniences, but I didn't find it that bad. And I mean, obviously not, because I feel like the game overall is quite great. Really cool characters, neat locations. I enjoyed all the towns you got to go to. It's really charming and witty and has really good humor in it. Good writing. It's a really neat game. So if you have any interest in something that sounds like that, that's kind of lighthearted, but there is something dark about it. There was something really like ominous and creepy. Basically, you know, you have to save Peach, but Peach is kind of being held, and talking with this computer kind of gives me HAL vibes. It was really creepy, and I like that. I like that they added something a little bit off-putting and weird in a Mario game, because yes, these can be pretty like straight and to the point, and you know, I really like that. So definitely a cool game. Check it out. At number 5, we have The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I absolutely love this game. This is my favorite style of Zelda game. I really, really like the top-down stuff. Like, you know, I really enjoyed the remake of Link's Awakening. That was fantastic. This is something for you if you like that. So if you like the original style of Zelda, you will probably really like this game. The only thing that's different about it is, yes, you play as Zelda, and she doesn't have a weapon. So they really changed it up a little bit in the sense that, yeah, you get to go to all these dungeons. It's very similar to the old way, but she doesn't have a weapon. So instead, she has echoes, and you have a million of them to choose from. And yes, the interface there was weird, and everybody complains about it. So blah, blah, blah. That was annoying. But overall, I would say, like, it's a really good game. Like, to me, it's like a 9 out of 10. Like, it's a really good game. Like, I don't have a number rating, but it's good. It's really fun. And I enjoyed all the little places and all the little stories that you got to check out and learn about. It was really neat. And the game is pretty chunky. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, it's a nice world map to explore. It's good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the creativity of her not having a weapon. So I feel like for anyone complaining about that, because yeah, there were times when you're like, man, I just wish I had a sword and I could just get through this part. But then I felt like, no, because you're not Link. This is different. And I feel like if you want that, go play Link to the Past. Go play, you know, A Link Between Worlds or Link's Awakening or whatever. Go play an old one and go play that. If you want something a little different, you want like a Zelda game but with just a different, you know, something to it, check this out. It's really cool. I absolutely loved it. All right, coming in at number 4, fantastic game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. amazing. I absolutely love this. It was so nice to finally get to hang out with these characters again. That's what I always say. I just love the characters in this Final Fantasy. Like, out of all the Final Fantasies, they're great, but I love Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett. Like, come on, I love them all. They're great, and you got more characters in this game. And the map opened up, so you got to actually go to different towns and areas. That's one aspect of it I really did like. The only thing that I wasn't a huge fan of was there were a lot of mini games and little things that you kind of had to do, and I just wasn't a huge fan of that. I'm not a side quest mini games person, so for me, that stuff just don't care about. And I also don't love a world map that is so ginormous, it's a little bit overwhelming, but I do know that a lot of people enjoy that aspect. So I feel like if you like that, I mean, you're gonna enjoy this even more, because you can take a game that's 40, 50 hours and make it 100 hours easily if you're doing every little thing, exploring every little corner. I'm not the kind of person who does that. I just really want to enjoy the story and just check it out. But yeah, I mean, it's a gorgeous game. There's really cool locations. I mean, you got to go to like Costa del Sol and stuff. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that aspect, and just a really fun game. I love all the cutscenes. I love everything about it. I love that they're changing it up slightly. It's not, 100% the same as the original Final Fantasy VII. And again, nice ending where you get to go like, I can't wait for that third one to see how they end this. It's going to be great. And yeah, there are definitely sad moments in this. It's a fantastic one. And if you are somehow not sure, yes, you do need to play Final Fantasy Remake before you play this game. So please don't just jump into this. But yeah, it's really great. If you haven't gotten around to this yet, I know there are people who still have yet to play this. Please make it a priority. It's definitely one of the games from last year that you really gotta play. At number 3, we have one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Super Mario RPG. Absolutely love this game. I loved it as a kid, and to be fair, besides the actual animation style, this is pretty much like a shot-for-shot remake. Like nothing has changed. It feels like you're playing a Super Nintendo game. It's really cool, and I absolutely love that. I love the original claymation style graphics that the Super Nintendo was doing, but they really gave a nice polished look here. I really do like this one, and I guess the other change would be that it is a little bit easier, because this game really doesn't take that long to get through. I think the original one was maybe like 20 hours, but this is like 12 hours. So they really cut a lot. I just don't think you're grinding as much or anything like that. It's pretty easy. Like, I played it on normal. That's saying a lot if I'm playing it on normal and not easy. So it's really not hard. So I feel like, you can play this game on easy and probably breeze through it, and then same thing with normal. It's not that hard, but it's a really cool game. I think this is one of the best games you could ever play if you've never played a JRPG before. I think it's one of the best games to introduce to a kid if they've never played a JRPG, because I was a kid when I played this, and it's basically stuck with me forever, and it's one of the games that kind of made me like JRPGs. So hands down, if you're looking to get a kid into JRPGs, really cool gift to get them to check it out, because it's all the characters that they know and love, and there's new characters, some neat characters in this game that they introduced just to this one. My hope is that because they remade this and people really loved it and got into it, is that they would be like, you know what, maybe we should make a sequel, a true sequel. Not Mario and Luigi, not Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG 2. I would really like to see that, and I'm hoping that they did that and kind of, not as a test, but kind of like, hey, this did really well, I think it would merit a sequel. I don't know. I mean, I could just be wrong and this is just a one-off, but that would be great. At number 2, we have a game that really blew me away, came out of nowhere. I had no idea that I was going to like it this much. I kind of just bought it and was like, okay, let's give it a go. And that is Astro Bot. Holy smokes, this game is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I can't stop talking about it because it's so great. This is one of those games that really made me actually feel like a kid again. It was like, oh my gosh, this is the same feeling I got in 1998 opening up Christmas presents. I just love this. And I felt like, man, if I was a kid today and I got something like this on Christmas morning and hooked up the PS5 and put this in, that would be one of the most memorable Christmases ever. That's sort of the way I describe this. It's great platforming, great controls, a love letter to Sony and PlayStation. It's just really good. If you like platformers, you'll love this, but I just feel like anyone could enjoy this. It's a really nice break from JRPGs too. It's not that long, and it was so creative. Oh my gosh, like I just really like this game. I was so blown away by it. It's probably the biggest surprise of the year, because there are games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I knew I was gonna like that, and I knew about it coming out in advance. Like, it's so obvious that it's gonna be a favorite, but this one, wow, like this one is next level, just great. So please check it out if you haven't. I feel like everyone and their dog has played it by now, but if you haven't, it's great. If you haven't figured it out by now, my #1 game of the whole year and one of my favorite games of all time now is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It's not really surprising because I really like this series, but I was not worried, but I thought, am I gonna like it as much as Yakuza Like a Dragon? Well, it's better. It's so much better. Yakuza Like a Dragon is a solid, fantastic, amazing experience that, yes, you do need to play first if you're wanting to play this. But this game took all of that and made it even better. And I think it's because you get Kiryu and Ichiban together. Just, oh man, it's great. It's so great. I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun. This is one of those JRPGs you have a smile on your face the whole time you're playing it. Like, it's really top-notch stuff. I really enjoyed this. And I love that it was in Japan and Hawaii, primarily in Hawaii, but there are a lot of parts where you do have to do stuff in Japan. So that was really cool. And it's neat to be able to play as Kiryu. It was neat that even playing as Kiryu, you got to sometimes do the brawl style combat. Like, there were so many little details in this game. I mean, these games don't skimp out on that. Like, they go hardcore. It's great to see, but wow, like, this was just such a great sequel, great everything. I enjoyed it all. I enjoyed the villain. I enjoyed the heartwarming aspect of it, of Ichiban wanting to find out who his mom was. Like, it was just really good, and there were creepy parts, and it's just fun. And I love the whole gang being back, but it was like the gang from Yakuza Like a Dragon. There were new characters in this one that you meet in Hawaii that kind of became part of the gang. And then there were characters from the original Yakuza games, like, with Kiryu. It was great. So highly recommend. I had so much fun. This game is wacky, zany, heartbreaking. Like, you will cry, you will laugh, you will feel every emotion. And I love that. All right, so those are my top 10 games that I played in 2024. Some old, some new. I mean, it was a great year, and I'm still catching up. That's why there's some 2024 games that I'm playing this year. I mean, there's games probably from years ago that I'm going to play this year. I love it. I'm so excited to play more games because it's just fun to experience amazing stories and just a fun time. So I'm excited to know what your favorite games that you played last year were. Doesn't matter, new, old, don't care, just want to know. And of course, I'll see you guys in my next video.